we have the mitzvah of Shaluach HaKain, which is that when you want to take a young egg, chick, right? What's the chick? The mother's the chick?
It's really a bird.
The bird. So the child bird, right? The egg. You have to chase away the mother bird, and then you take away the child, the egg. Okay? Shalach tishalech es ha'im v'sabonim tikach lach. Send away the mother bird, and then you can take away the child. The Torah promises, as we had in last week, long life for such a mitzvah. Okay? There's another mitzvah in the Torah where the Torah promises long life for fulfilling that mitzvah. And that is Shmo? Respecting father and mother. For the first question this evening, we're going to ask, why does the Torah promise the same reward, a long life, for the mitzvah of Shaluach HaKain, chasing away the mother bird when you take the child that's young, and Kibbutz Avim? What's the connection? Why do these two mitzvahs, which have no connection with each other, why does the Torah promise long life for these two mitzvahs? Question number one. Question number two, we're going to go all the way to Sefer Bereshis. We're going to ask a question which seemingly has nothing to do with our discussion about Kibbutz Avim Shaluach HaKain, and it will have some connection. Avraham Avinu, Abraham, passed the 9 tests. He's up to the 10th test, what we call the Akedah Yitzchak. When God tells Abraham to slaughter his son Isaac, who he waited a very long time for, and God tells him, go ahead and do it. And then in the end, he doesn't do it. In the end, God tells him, stop, no, I was just testing you. I don't want you to do anything, leave him alone. Okay? Because you did this great thing, and so you're going to be rewarded. So one of the things that God tells Abraham is, Ata yadati, now I know, ki yireh Elokim ata, that you are a God-fearing person. And you didn't withhold your son, your only son, your special one, from me. Meaning, he was ready to do it. Based on the Talmud, that a person that wants to do a mitzvah and something happens, he doesn't do it, like in this case, that God told him not to do it, it's considered as if he did the mitzvah. So that's why you might be wondering, what do you mean you didn't withhold your son? You did withhold the son. You didn't do anything to him. Okay, you didn't do anything Lamaisa, as they say, physically, actually, but it's considered as if he actually did bring Isaac on the altar. So the question is, second question, that will answer both questions, Amir Hashem, please God, is, what do you mean, now I know that you're a God-fearing person? This is the 10th of the tests. So he already passed the 9 tests. What was wrong with those? Why did God say, now I know that you're a God-fearing person? There was something special about this 10th test that until that point, he did not have the title of being a God-fearing person. Now, says God, oh, you're a God-fearing person. What do you mean? What was wrong with the first 9 tests? He already passed those 9 tests. Second question. So we're going to answer this question. And that is, there are all different types of traits and tendencies a person can have. How do you know if the way a person acts is because that's their natural tendency, or a person really should control that he doesn't have his own feelings and emotions. He should act the way the Torah tells him to. If there's certain situations in life when he's supposed to be argumentative, be like a lawyer, and fight, and no, the contrary, no, but this, but that, why I say this, why I say that, then maybe that's what you should do. And when you're supposed to be easygoing, okay, whatever, yeah, be like that, okay? So, how do you know if a person's emotions are dictated by the Torah or by his own natural tendency? If a person only acts a certain way all the time, he's only a certain type of person, then that's the way he acts. If a person can act one way and then opposite way other times, davar vehefucho, and act something and it's opposite, then you know that the Torah is controlling his emotions, not his own tendencies, his own beings. Right? The way a person should act is the way the Torah tells him, not the way he wants to be, soft-spoken. No, sometimes you have to be outspoken. Sometimes you're soft-spoken. Sometimes you have to get upset about something that the Torah demands you get upset about. God gets upset. It says in the Torah, God gets jealous. God gets upset. V'chara af Hashem. We say in the Shema. What do you mean, God gets upset? Yes. There's certain situations that require emotions that are the opposite of the way you act normally. Why? Because the Torah controls how you act, not your own desires. Now, so let's discuss this week's Parshas, and then we'll go back to Avraham Avinu. Honoring, respecting your parents. That is an act of compassion. You have an elderly mother in Bell Harbor.
Okay, so you have two witnesses of
Right?
the said it happened.
Well, your father's case. Your mother, right?
See my mom.
Okay.
The other one said it happened.
Not elderly. Rachel, you're 35 years old.
Okay, leave it off the record.
Okay. When I said elderly, no, she's not watching it. Elderly, if you are watching it, I don't mean you. I mean your mother-in-law, okay? No, I said the example of your grandmother because we're talking about an elderly woman, right? The mother, the real mitzvah of, you can edit this part, the real mitzvah of kibbut av v'em is for a parent, not for a grandparent, right? So you have an elderly mother, an elderly father, so you go ahead and you honor them, respect them. That's not cruelty, that's compassion. When you go ahead and you chase away the mother bird when you want to take the young, that's not compassion, that's cruelty. The Torah promises long life, longevity, for two mitzvahs that require the exact opposite emotion. Compassion, when you honor your parents, and the exact opposite emotion, cruelty, mean-kite, not being a mensch, seemingly, doing something of uxorious, of cruelty, chasing away the mother bird. Why? The Torah is teaching us this lesson. The Torah controls your emotion. You're not a compassionate person or a mean person, a cruel person. I am whatever the Torah tells me to be. When I'm supposed to be cruel, I'm cruel. When I'm supposed to be compassionate, I'm compassionate. I don't have my own feelings and emotions. I follow the way the Torah says to do. So that would explain this week's Parshas. What connection do they have? Kibbut av v'em and Shiluach HaKain, that they have the same reward. The answer is, they don't have any connection. That's exactly why they have the same reward. The Torah is showing that when do you really get the real reward of long life, which means in the next world, is only if you can do something and it's the exact opposite. If you can do a mitzvah of compassion and a mitzvah which does not require compassion, which requires you to act in a cruel way, although obviously there's reasons why you do it, because the Torah tells you to do it, but you have to seemingly act cruel. Only when you can do both emotions, which require the exact opposite traits, is when you get longevity. And this would answer the second question about Avraham Avinu. We asked, God says, oh, and now I know that you're a God-fearing person, when he's about to do that Kedar, the 10th test. What do you mean, now I know you're a God-fearing person? How about the first 9 tests? What's wrong with that? The answer is, the first 9 tests, Avraham Avinu had to act a certain way. He had to, Avraham Avinu was the person who was the symbol of chesed. He was the amud of chesed, the pillar of chesed. So all the things that he did, feeding everybody, taking care of everybody, doing all these great mitzvahs of chesed, that requires compassion, caring about the next person, to be a nice guy. What is the Akedah? Killing, bringing as a sacrifice your son on the altar. That's not compassion at all. That's the opposite of compassion. That's murder. killing your own son, your own flesh and blood. So only when Avraham Avinu was able to do something, and it's exact opposite, it's polar opposite. Dova v'hefucha, something and it's opposite. Compassion and murder. When he was able to do both mitzvahs, now thank God he didn't do it in the end. He didn't do anything to Yitzchak. But the point is, he was ready to do it. It's considered as if he did it. Talmud says that. You want to do a mitzvah? And a situation comes, like in this case, when God tells you not to, and you don't do it, not because of your own laziness, but because it doesn't come to fruition, it's considered as if you did it. So Avraham Avinu was able to master both emotions, to be compassionate when he was supposed to be compassionate, and to be cruel when he's supposed to be cruel, only when he was able to master the exact opposite emotions is when God calls him a God-fearing person. So let's be able to be like Avraham Avinu, and to be able to have the Torah control our emotions, not what we think we should be doing. We do the way the Torah acts.
First statement is, till the day